Nate, have you actually gone to any of your union meetings where they go over our company at all?
I haven't been in a little while, actually, no.
Okay, no worries. I'll get you all caught up to speed then. So American Income is the company that I work for. We've actually been working with all of the labor unions and associations on their permanent insurance benefits all the way back since 1951. So to date, we actually work with over 30,000 different unions and associations internationally, including people like teachers, nurses, and firefighters, just to name a few. Now, the reason why we actually work in cooperation with your union specifically is because they know that you guys have great benefits at work. But when you leave or quit or retire, those benefits, they greatly diminish. And in most cases, they're gone completely. So our company, we actually cover you for your permanent and portable benefits, meaning these are the benefits that are going to cover you while you're working with the union, and they're going to stay with you even after you leave the union. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So here's a quick copy of the card that you had filled out. Does this ring a bell here? Might take a quick second.
Oh, yeah. A while ago, I remember filling that out.
Okay, perfect. And then do you also remember this letter that you had got from the union?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So just like the letter had said, it's just my job to go over those 4 no-cost benefits that you get for being a union member in good standing, as well as some additional benefits, but those you have to qualify for. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So your first no-cost benefit is going to be your accidental death benefit. So what this does is it covers you if you die on or off the job. Now I see here, you've got your wife, Canella, listed as your primary beneficiary. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, if something happens to Canella before you, who would you want to list as a contingent beneficiary for the money to go to?
Let's do my brother.
Okay. And what's his name?
Zach.
Zach. Okay. Same last name as you?
Yes.
Okay, great. And is he married?
He is.
Okay, perfect. And is he in Massachusetts locally as well?
Yeah.
All right, perfect. Now, they also have us collect 2 claimants as well. So these would be 2 people that would assist in the claims process. Who did you want to put for the first one?
Your sister is kind of responsible, so she'd probably be good for that.
Okay,
Okay.
perfect. Yeah, what's her name? Can I know your sister's name?
We can put Demi, Demi, and then same last name.
Uh-huh. Okay, perfect. And then what's a good phone number for her?
781-316-2202.
2202. Okay, perfect. And she's here in Massachusetts as well?
Yes.
Okay, all right, perfect. Now, who would be the second claimant that you guys wanted to list?
Let's do my niece,
Okay, her first name?
Ava
Mm-hmm. And last name?
Landry.
Okay, perfect. And a phone number for her?
857
Mhm.
321
Mhm.
3344.
Okay, and she's here in Mass as well, correct?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Now, Nate, I'm gonna send you a text message here real quick. Let me know when you get it. That come through for you yet?
Yeah. I
Okay,
just got it.
so what I'm gonna have you do is just forward that over to your contingent beneficiary as well as those 2 claimants, just to give them a heads up that you listed them in association with your policy, okay?
Okay.
Let me know once you're done with that.
All right. Hold on. Okay.
Okay, great. Now, guys, your next benefit is your Child Safety Kit mobile app. Are you guys familiar with the Amber Alert system?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, yeah. So police in our communities, they're actually actively searching for over 2,300 children each and every day, which actually equates to over 800,000 children each year. Now, if you're unprepared, it can take up to 4 hours for the police to collect this information needed to issue an Amber Alert. With this child safety kit, it actually reduces that time all the way down to 15 minutes and increases the chance of your child being found alive by 400%. All I need you guys to do real quick is go on over to your app store to download the app and type in Child Safe Kit. Let me know once you guys are there.
Okay.
Okay.
Did it finish downloading yet?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So you guys are just going to go through some basic registration steps here, where you'll just click sign up, I'm new here, basically enter things like your name, your email, that phone's phone number, and then just proceed to entering your home address there.
Okay.
You'll get a text message. Let me know once you guys get it. It's a confirmation code that's texted to you.
Okay.
Just came
Okay.
through.
All right, perfect. So next on your screen, you should see the kind of blue button here for activate account now. Do you guys see that?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Click that activate account now button. It's going to ask for camera permissions for you guys to scan the QR code that you see here on my screen.
Okay.
Did it let you in there?
Yep.
Yep, got it.
Okay, perfect. You guys should now be looking at a screen where it says build your children's profile. Now, you don't have to do that with me right now. It is something that you guys will want to do ideally as soon as possible, later tonight, worst case, as late as tomorrow morning. So when you guys build the kids' profiles, there are some really important things that you want to make sure that you include. The first one being the kids' blood type. Do you guys happen to know Jonathan's blood type by chance?
Oh, no, I don't.
Most parents don't. Unfortunately, that's one of the informations that's required in order to get an Amber Alert issued. And obviously, you guys can understand the importance of having that listed proactively, because heaven forbid, in the event of an emergency, you don't want to be waiting on a phone call back from your doctor, or trying to reach out to your doctor to get his blood type in order to get that Amber Alert issued. You guys could see how important that would be to have listed on there, correct?
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely. A couple other things would be like any features on Jonathan that are permanent. So things like scars, birthmarks, moles, dimples, any of those sorts of permanent, never changing features. The reason that's so important, obviously, you guys have probably seen the news, probably seen the crime shows where kids go missing. One of the first things somebody tries to do is change that child's physical appearance. So you really only want to list those permanent, never changing features that are going to be permanent to that child. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Okay, yeah.
Last thing here is going to be a photograph. So you guys can actually choose a photo right from the gallery on your phone. I'm sure you guys probably have a million photos of him, right now. So you just want to try to keep that photo up to date. The reason that's important is because that's the photo that's actually going to go out to the public once that Amber Alert gets issued. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So if anything ever did happen, you're still gonna want to call 911 just like normal. The only difference is you'll let dispatch know that you've got this app set up on your phone. What they'll do is they'll give you a code, you'll plug that right into the app, and within minutes, that child's profile is going to get sent directly to the authorities so they can start that search for your child. Pretty cool, right?
Yeah, wow.
Sure, you guys can see like how important it is to make sure these get set up, before something happens to the kids, right?
For sure.
Absolutely. Now, the police are on a mission to try to get this child safety kit app out to all the families in the area with kids or grandkids. But in order for us to try to do this, this is where they ask for you guys as community members' help. So they did the math for us, and they figure that for every family that we meet with, if they can think of 10 other families with kids, by the end of next year, we should be able to get these out to all the families here in Massachusetts. Now, Nate, I know you mentioned your sister has kids, right? So we could start with her first. How do you spell your sister's name?
Hannah.
Okay, is that Hannah?
Yes.
Perfect. Same last name as you?
Yeah.
Okay, great. And is she married or have a significant other?
She's not married. No.
Okay, great. No worries. And she's here in Massachusetts, correct?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. And a good phone number for her?
508
Mhm.
321
Mhm.
2323.
Okay, and then how many kids does she have total? Just the one?
No, she's got two. She's got the two girls.
Okay, great. Who's next?
To my friend Paige.
Paige, okay. And her last name?
Conroy with a C.
Okay, great. And she's here in Massachusetts, correct?
Yes.
Perfect. What's a good number for her?
781-623-5143.
Okay, great. And how many kids does she have?
She has one. Her daughter's 3, I believe, and one on the way.
Oh, one on the way. Okay, great. Awesome. So we'll get her set up as well. Who's next? Here then is where we proceed to collect as many referrals as possible by using the who's next verbiage. Now, Nate, Canella, I'm going to send you another text message here real quick. Let me know once you guys get that.
Okay.
Okay, I got it.
Got it.
So what I'm going to have you each do is for the individuals that you guys thought of for the child safety kits, I'm just going to have you forward over this message to them just to kind of give them a heads up that I'll be reaching out to them to get the child safe kit set up for them first. I just want them to hear from you and have a heads up ahead of time. So Nate, the first person was your sister. So I'll have you forward that to her. And then Canella, the other one was Paige, your friend Paige.
Yes.
Okay.
Perfect. And then just go ahead and send that over to anybody else that you guys thought of.
Okay.
Okay.
Awesome. So guys, your next no cost benefit is your medical discount card. So this is actually designed to help lower your out-of-pocket healthcare expenses. It actually gives you a discount up to 85% on the things that your medical or dental insurance doesn't necessarily cover completely.
All right.
So here's what it looks like here. Now, either one of you guys wear glasses or contacts at all?
No.
I don't know.
Should have said yes. How about any prescription medications? Do you guys take like a few medications at all?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Great, great. So if your prescriptions are anything like mine, anything like most people's that I meet with, typically your medical insurance is going to do a good job of covering a majority of that cost. But sometimes there's those medications where they're maybe non-generic forms where you still have to pay $60, $80, $100, something like that out of pocket. So that's where this benefit is actually going to come to great use for you guys. It's going to help with those out-of-pocket coverages or out-of-pocket expenses that your health insurance doesn't cover completely. So not designed to replace anything that you have, just more so to be kind of used supplementally in conjunction with any of your current coverage. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. Now, this used to be a card that they would actually mail out to you guys in the mail, but it's 2022. So everything is actually now done on a mobile app on your phone. So what's going to happen is after our meeting here today, you guys are going to get an activation email that's automatically going to be sent over to you. And it's just going to have those app download instructions as well as your specific registration activation ID that's needed to actually register within the app. So it's pretty cool. You guys will be able to set that up. Again, try to do it as soon as possible, ideally later tonight, worst case tomorrow, okay?
All right. Sounds good.
Okay.
Awesome. Now, Nate, what we're finding out is that, not all 369 members are getting the benefits that they're entitled to. And usually that comes down to like one of two reasons. One, they either don't get that letter, that card, and that paperwork in the mail, or two, they get it in the mail, but what do you think they do with it?
They probably gets tossed in the pile with everything else because it gets so much mail from the union.
Exactly. Yep. They throw it away, like accidentally thinking it's junk. Now, with the rising costs of insurance, they just want us to make sure that all of the members have received their benefits. So they ask you to participate in what's called the Union Catch-up program. So what that means is that you choose 5 coworkers. We just cross-reference them, their name and number in our database, just to make sure that they're getting their benefits, just like I'm doing with you right now. Now, I know you said you've been with the union for about 6 years and you're close with a couple coworkers. Who did you want to start with first?
I guess we do my coworker Maurice.
Maurice? Okay. Do you know his last name?
Yeah, Baritz.
Okay. B-A-R-I-T-S?
Z.
Z. Okay, perfect. And what's a good phone number for him?
857
Mhm.
33 1111.
1111. Okay, and he's here in Mass, correct?
Yes.
Okay, great. Who's next?
I'm not sure if I can. I don't really have another coworker I'm too close with, to say the truth.
You've been with the union for 6 years and you only know one coworker?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I get one other guy. We could do Jeff
Jeff? Okay. What's his last name?
Hall.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and his phone number?
His phone number, oh my God, 978
Uh-huh,
231
uh-huh,
9977.
9977. Okay, and he's here in Mass, correct, as well, right?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So we would then use who's next verbiage to proceed and collect as many referrals for Union Ketchup coworkers as possible. Now, Nate, I'm sending you a text message again here, just like I did for you before. Let me know when it comes through.
Okay.
Awesome. So what I'm going to have you do is same thing you did before. Just take that text message, forward it over to those coworkers just to kind of give them a heads up to let them know that you met with me. And then I'll reach out to them to get them set up with their benefits as well. So the first person was your coworker, Maurice. Let me know when you're done with him.
Okay.
Awesome. And then the second one was Jeff.
Yep.
Great. And then just go ahead and take a quick second and forward that over to anybody else that you thought of.
Okay. And done.
Great. So like I mentioned to you guys earlier, because of our strong relationship with over 30,000 different unions and groups, they actually chose our company to cover their members with our permanent insurance benefits. Unfortunately, not everyone can qualify, so they just had me go through a needs analysis just to determine your situation and see if you're eligible. So I'm going to share my screen with you guys here. Let me know when it pops up for you.
Yep.
We can see it.
Great. So Nate, I've got your date of birth here on January 1st, 1985. Is that correct?
January 2nd.
Okay, great. And then Canella, what's your date of birth?
November 28th
Mhm.
of 83.
28th, 83. Okay, great. And then Jonathan is just Jonathan, correct?
Yep.
Okay, what's his date of birth?
September 4th,
Mhm.
2011.
Okay, perfect. And Jonathan's an only child, right?
Yeah.
All right, great. So now we're just going to go through a couple qualifying medical questions. This just applies to the three of you, not to any extended family. Any form of internal cancer, diagnosis or treatment in the last 2 years?
No.
Okay. Any use of insulin for diabetes?
No.
No.
Any problems with your heart, like heart attack or stroke?
No.
No.
Anybody currently using home oxygen for breathing?
No.
No.
Any terminal illness or Alzheimer's?
No.
No.
Okay. Any form of tobacco use that would include like cigarettes, cigars, e-cigs, vape, hookah, anything like that in the last 12 months?
No.
Not
Okay.
for me.
And any diagnosis of COVID in the last 3 months at all?
No.
Okay. Any current probation or parole or in the last 5 years arrest?
No.
How about you, Canella?
Not for me either.
Okay, good news. All right, great. You don't seem like the probation type, but I have to ask. Now we'll get into some household information here. So we'll start with you first, Nate. Through your job, how much life insurance do you have through work?
I'm honestly not sure.
Okay. Let me ask you this. Do you pay for it?
I don't.
Okay, great. So that's just the standard group, 20,000.
Okay.
And for you, Canella, how much life insurance do you have through work?
I don't have any insurance through work.
Okay, nothing at all. Okay. Now for life insurance outside of work that you guys own and control, what do you have set up for that as of right now?
I have something small that my mom did for me a while, like when I was a kid. It's like 10 grand. That
10,000?
Yeah.
Okay, great. And how about for you, Canella?
I don't have any insurance as of right now outside of work.
Oh, you don't have any life insurance at all? Even like when you had Jonathan, you didn't get anything set up or anything like that?
No, nothing.
Okay. Now at the house there, do you guys rent or do you own?
We own.
Okay, great. What is roughly the outstanding mortgage balance that's left on the house?
Jeez, I think it's like, is it like one? It's like almost 200. It's like 180 or something like that. 170, I think.
Close to that, yeah.
170. Okay. And then roughly how many years are remaining on the mortgage balance?
I think it's like 20.
20. Okay. So you financed the house around 10 years ago with a 30-year mortgage?
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Okay. Do You guys have anything specifically set aside for Jonathan, like for his future college savings or education at all?
Just not really.
Not at the moment.
No.
All right, no worries. And as far as take home pay, Nate, do you get paid every week or every 2 weeks?
I get paid once a week.
Once a week. Okay. And what would you say after taxes and deductions that you bring home weekly?
After taxes and deductions, about 1,300
A week or every 2 weeks?
a week.
Okay. And then same question for you, Canella. Do you get paid weekly or every 2 weeks?
I get paid every 2 weeks. Roughly, I would say 1,000.
1,000 every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Now, Nate, Canella, they always make me ask, if you guys were to take and set aside like 1 to 2 hours of your wages each week to protect your family, do you guys think that would like take food off the table or drastically change your lifestyle at all?
It shouldn't. I don't
No,
think
not
so.
really.
Right. That's what most members say. What I'm about to show you, most people like, but they don't want me showing you something that you like, but you just couldn't afford. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So before I get into the program recommendations, they have me read what's called a read off letter. Feel free to follow along. So, dear Nate and Canella, the insurance programs that are offered to you today, they're made available on a voluntary basis through the cooperation of your union and American Income Life Insurance Company, a 100% union label company with a long-standing history of serving union members and their families. We are privileged to provide insurance services to millions of policyholders throughout the United States, Canada, and New Zealand, and we currently have more than $46 billion of coverage in force. Our benefits are not in competition with any group benefits that you might get from your workplace or employer, and they can complement any policies that you might already have. If you choose to take advantage of any of the programs offered through AIL, your benefit program is permanent and it's portable throughout your lifetime. If you qualify, your coverage does last a lifetime and it's under your independent control. Once the program's been explained to you, we're sure you'll agree with the many participating members that it's one of the most valuable that you've seen. There are a couple different benefits made available. Please just take a last few minutes to listen to the AIL representative who's visiting you. If we can help you with any of your needs in this area, they ask that you please take advantage today. If not, they still like your feedback, so please take a quick minute to complete the officer report form, just so we can share that information with your union to help serve you more effectively. The reason, Nate and Canella, that they ask you to make the decision today is that we do have several thousand families requesting our programs, and we can only visit each family once at a time. We obviously do, though, appreciate the opportunity to serve you and your family today. So basically, Nate and Canella, here's how it works. If as I go through these benefits and, you're kind of thinking, wow, I can see why they have this set up for the members, why pretty much everyone is taking advantage of it, then they actually ask you to try to qualify while you're with me today. Now, on the flip side, if after I go through these benefits and you're thinking, wow, these really are some great benefits, but they just don't fill a need for me and my family right now, then they actually ask you not to try to qualify. Either way, though, yes or no, that decision does need to be made today during your service period. And that's just in fairness to all those other members that are waiting to enroll. The great thing, though, about these benefits is that they're pretty much a no-brainer. So you guys will know one way or another at the end whether or not they're going to fill a need for you guys and your family or not. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, great. So this first video, this is actually going to explain your exclusive freedom of choice benefit. So just pay close attention to how we're going to be able to take care of your funeral and your final expenses immediately.
Okay.
The warmth of family is one of the most beautiful and valued things in life. For this reason, saying goodbye to a loved one can be difficult, and even more so when we are not prepared. The emotional distress adds to the financial burden. It can be devastating to lose the family savings or even the family inheritance. The average cost of a funeral continues to rise, and these expenses can be higher depending on where you live. Keep in mind that funeral and cemetery expenses increase each year due to inflation and other economic factors. At 4% a year for the next 20 years, the cost of a funeral will have risen above $30,000. Expenses become even more overwhelming when you consider that Social Security only pays a $255 death benefit, and that's if you qualify. That still leaves all of the expenses for your family to cover. The last thing we want is to leave our loved ones in this kind of situation when we perish, isn't it? That's why it is important to anticipate for future events with preparation. Otherwise, who would be responsible for those unforeseen and sometimes escalating expenses that no one is ready for? We all want our last goodbye to bring comfort and leave a loving memory of us in the hearts of our loved ones. However, these good feelings can be diminished when we do not have coverage for final expenses and a burden is presented that could mean thousands and thousands of dollars. For this situation, American Income Life recommends our whole life policy along with the Freedom of Choice certificate. The process is simple and can be used to cover your final expenses up to the face value of your policy. Your beneficiary takes the certificate to the chosen funeral home, agrees to the service details, and writes the total amount on the back, signs it, and hands the certificate to the funeral home director. When the service is needed, the funeral home director calls the number on the certificate to speak directly to a claims representative. Payment is made directly from our company to the funeral home, and the remainder, if any, is paid to the beneficiary in a lump sum check. The decision is simple, and your family deserves it. Obtain final expense coverage, which allows you to have the Freedom of Choice certificate. That way, you will help avoid many problems for your loved ones. Today, you can enjoy the tranquility of knowing, in that inevitable moment, there will be peace. If you're giving them the best today, prepare for tomorrow. Leave them only beautiful memories. Love is shown with action.
All right, guys, did that video make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. You know, just like the video recommends, they actually they're recommending $30,000 of permanent coverage to cover your final expenses. Do you guys remember from the video why it recommends the full 30,000?
Inflation, right?
Yeah, you got it. Yep. So just like the video said, the average cost of a funeral today is right around 15,000, but with inflation over the next 20 years, the cost of a funeral will be above 30,000. So right now, you guys don't have any permanent protection to take care of that need, besides the one that your mom started for you when you were a kid, Nate. So it recommends a need of the difference of 20,000 and 30,000 respectively to make sure that you have those coverages taken care of. And that's exactly what they're providing for you today. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure you guys can see like how important it is to take care of those final expenses for when something happens to you, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, Nate, Canella, how important is it for you guys to earn a paycheck, next week and every 2 weeks?
Super important.
Yeah, right. I can imagine. So, in fact, if you guys were to go like a couple of weeks without your paycheck, I could imagine it would probably put you into a bit of a financial bind, right?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Right. So let's go ahead and examine that need for monthly income protection.
Your paycheck is the economic heartbeat of your family. It pays your rent, utilities, car payment, medical insurance, groceries, incidentals, leisure. Most families take this for granted until it stops. It is an economic heart attack. AIL's Income Protection Program, funded by Term Insurance, keeps your income flowing, which keeps economic life in the family. Our recommendation is that you provide up to 5 years of income replacement to take care of your family after you're gone, which would give your spouse and loved ones time to adjust to their loss, both emotionally and financially. If you died tomorrow, wouldn't you want your loved ones to know that you were thinking of them today?
All right, guys, did that video make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So just like the video said, they're actually recommending 5 years of your income being protected, which for you, Nate, is right around $338,000. Now,
Mhm.
you already have that basic coverage through work. So for you, it finds a need of the difference of right around 318,000. And that's exactly what the program would be able to provide for you today. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, same thing for you, Canella. It also recommends having 5 years of your income protected. 5 years of your income is right around $130,000. Now, you don't have any existing coverage at all through work or outside of work. So for you, it does find a need of that full 130,000, and that's exactly what the program would provide for you today. Does that make sense?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So with both of you guys working and bringing home income to the household, I'm sure you guys can see how important this benefit would be to make sure your family's lifestyle wouldn't have to change in the event, if either one of you were taken out of the picture prematurely, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I'm sure you guys, like most families I meet with, look at your home as your biggest asset, right?
Definitely.
Yes.
That's what most people say. What they don't necessarily always realize is that technically it's actually your biggest liability, because until it's paid off, technically the bank is the one that owns it. And when you pass away, they take it back along with all of the equity if the family can't keep up with the payments. So the mortgage protection actually makes sure that your family keeps the house instead of the bank.
Okay.
Okay.
So you guys had let me know that you have right around $170,000 left on that mortgage balance. Because you don't have any coverage to take care of this need, it finds a need of the full 170,000, and that's exactly what the program would be able to provide for you today. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Now, it probably goes without saying like how important it is to protect your mortgage and in case you passed away so your family still has a place to live, right?
Oh my God, of course.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Huge.
absolutely. Now, the last benefit here is college education. So I'm sure you guys would, want little Jonathan to have the option to go to college if he chose to, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's actually why they set up the college education program. So they recommend $100,000 to cover the cost of his future education. Currently right now, you guys don't have any existing coverage to take care of this need. So you need that full 100,000, and that's exactly what they're going to be able to take care of today. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Great. So, heaven forbid you're taken out of the picture before Jonathan goes to college. I'm sure you guys, it would give you peace of mind knowing that he would never have to pay out of pocket for student loans, right?
Yeah,
Right.
completely.
Right. Now, Joe, Nate, Canella, out of all of these great benefits that we went through today, if you guys were only to choose one, which one would you say is the most important for your family? We'll start with you first, Canella.
I mean, probably final expenses.
Okay. Now, why is that one? What makes you choose that one over all the others?
Just because it's like that upfront payment, and I know since I don't have anything, I don't want to leave Nate nor, Jonathan with that burden. God forbid something happen.
Yeah, a lot of families that I meet with, especially ones that don't have any coverage at all, they usually choose that one as well. Nate, same question to you. Out of all the different benefits, if you were to choose only one, which one would you say is the most important?
I mean, I think income. I don't know what she's talking about. So income is probably the most important one for sure. Like the day-to-day bills are, I mean, that's what the family survives on. So if they can't pay that, I don't know.
Yeah,
I'll probably make it.
right. Yeah, a lot of parents, they also choose that one, especially in dual income households like your guys's, where you kind of rely off one another to pay those bills and keep the lifestyle. So that makes sense. The good news is, guys, is based off of setting aside those 1 to 2 hours of your paycheck each week, like we talked about earlier, we should be able to actually handle everything today. However, worst case scenario, we'll make sure that at least those two, the final expenses and the income get taken care of. So
Okay.
just to kind of recap for you, they have those final expenses taken care of. We'll be able to protect your income for that full 5 years. The entire mortgage balance would be paid off, and little Jonathan would have money to go towards his future college education as well. Now, because it is a family program, it also does come with $10,000 of coverage on Jonathan, so he's going to be covered as well. So
Okay.
if all that makes sense, did you want to go with what most members do and start with setting aside just 2 hours worth of your wages each week? Or did you want to upgrade the program and actually put in get a lot more protection for the family?
Mm,
I mean, I mean, I kind of want to think this one over a little bit, to tell you the truth.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I can understand that. Let's take a quick step back. Now, let me ask you guys this. Do you guys see a need for the benefits?
Yeah, definitely.
yeah, of course.
Okay, so you like how they work, right?
Mhm.
Right.
So I know, Canella, you had mentioned that that final expense protection was so important, because you had mentioned without any coverage, you don't have anything to cover that initial bill, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then Nate, I know you had said that the income protection was the most important because that's kind of what keeps the household alive, right?
Right.
And I'm sure obviously you guys wouldn't mind if something happened, that the house would be paid off and that, Jonathan would have money towards his college education, right?
Of course.
For sure. Yeah.
If you're like most members, it's not so much that, you're really considering if the benefits are helpful. More often than not, it kind of comes down to the price. Do you guys think that just the $448 a month is just maybe a little bit too much right now?
Yeah, that's definitely going to be kind of tight for us.
Yeah, and I'm glad that you said that. What a lot of members are doing that are in your guys' situation is they're actually going with what's called our partial inflation option. So what's great about the partial inflation option is it still covers those final expenses at $20,000, still is going to make sure that that full 5 years of your income is protected. Obviously we'll still make sure the mortgage balance is taken care of and still make sure that little Jonathan has money for his college education. So I'm sure you guys got to be feeling a lot more comfortable with that, right?
I mean, it's better, but I think just in our situation right now, it's still a little tight.
Yeah, no, and I completely understand that. A lot of families, what they also do is they'll go with what's called our non-inflation option. So what's great about the non-inflation option is it still covers those final expenses at today's rate. So for $15,000, it still makes sure that the income is protected for a full 5 years. Still would make sure that house is paid, and then still would make sure little Jonathan has money for his college education. And then you can see what it does then to that monthly premium. So I'm sure you guys got to be feeling like a bit more comfortable with that, right?
That's definitely a lot better. It's just that's definitely better. It's just a little tight.
Okay. And I get it. Nate, let me ask you this, right? So let me paint the picture for you. Let's say, you were to go into work tomorrow, right? And your boss says, Nate, work's going really well. What we're going to do this week is we're actually going to have you work 41 hours instead of your regular 40. With that one extra hour of income for the week, are you going to like go out and go buy your dream home or your dream car at all?
No.
Of course not, right? Now, on the flip side, let's just say you go into work, same thing, except for your boss says, you know what, Nate, work's going a little slow right now. We're going to have to pay you only 39 hours this week instead of your regular 40. With that difference of just 1 hour, are you going to have to put a for sale sign on the front yard or pull the kids out of all of their sports and activities?
No.
Of course not. So the idea is, guys, is that with this program, 1 hour plus or minus, it's not going to change your family's lifestyle drastically, but not having these benefits and these concerns taken care of, it certainly would. So what most people do is they just set aside that first hour on Monday morning, the one we don't really like anyway, and just guarantee that whether you're here or not, your family's lifestyle doesn't have to change. So basically what that looks at, guys, is still covering your final expenses at today's rate. We're still going to protect your income for a full 3 years, still leave that house fully paid off, and still make sure that little Jonathan has money for his college education. And guys, basically what we're looking at here, if you break it down, is we're looking at about, $40 per week per person. So kind of setting aside that 1 hour of your income each week. I'm sure you guys got to be feeling a lot more comfortable with that, right?
Yeah, that's a lot better.
Okay, Canella, would you agree? Are you on the same page?
Yeah, that looks much better.
Okay, great. So obviously this is a program that you have to qualify for. So there are a few qualifying medical questions that I'm going to take you guys through just to make sure that you're able to qualify.
Okay.